Dr. Oz is probably one of the most well-known doctors in the world due to his hit TV show named The Dr. Oz Show, which racked up an impressive 1,681 episodes over the course of 13 seasons. Sadly, despite his enormous fame, Dr. Oz is one of the biggest promoters of scams that has ever been on TV, and pushing these bogus products on his audience for over a decade has made him insanely wealthy, with an estimated net worth of over $100 million. His promotion of bogus health products eventually led to a Senate committee meeting where he was requested to testify to the Consumer Protection Board, where he was grilled for not only the products he promoted, but also the outlandish way he described these products, in many cases calling them miracles and magic pills.
And when you call a product a miracle and it's something you can buy and it's something that gives people false hope, I just don't understand why you need to go there.
My job, I feel, on the show is to be a cheerleader for the audience. And when they don't think they have hope, when they don't think they can make it happen, I want to look, and I do look everywhere, including in alternative healing traditions.
In order to tell Dr. Oz's wild story from decorated heart surgeon to scam promoter, we have to go back to the beginning of his journey. Mehmet Oz was born in a wealthy family, which helped him get a great start to life. He attended Harvard for his undergrad degree and then attended the University of Pennsylvania, where he received both a medical and business degree at the same time. From there, Dr. Oz got his first job in the medical field at New York Presbyterian Hospital. It was during this time that he founded the Cardiac Complementary Care Center in order to provide patients with alternative medicine. Even way back in the 1990s, it became clear to his fellow doctors that Oz loved media attention, and being a simple doctor just wasn't enough for Oz. In 1996, Frank Torre, who was the brother of Yankees manager Joe Torre, needed heart surgery. Oz helped save his life, and the Yankees won the World Series shortly after that. Dr. Oz received a ton of media attention for this and seemed to revel in it, while the other doctors on the team didn't like his constant media attention. It became such an issue that the co-founder of his complementary care center was even quoted as telling Oz to stop the media circus, as it was bringing too much attention and scrutiny to their center, which was in its infancy and really didn't have the track record at the time to back up a lot of what they were doing. Unfortunately, Dr. Oz's taste for fame didn't stop there. As he continued to court the media, this eventually led to Oz getting a short-lived show on the Discovery Channel called Second Opinion with Dr. Oz, where he talked to various celebrities about health concerns. The first guest on the show was Oprah Winfrey. The two of them hit it off, and Oprah would have Dr. Oz appear on her show more than 60 times over the next few years. Dr. Oz's fame would grow from these appearances, which led to Oprah and Oz creating his own show together called The Dr. Oz Show. This show is where most of the scam promoting would take place, and we'll dig into some of the worst of these scams after a word from today's sponsor. A year ago, I decided to buy a new office chair as my old one was falling apart. I bought a highly recommended one from an online retailer, and to put it lightly, I was disappointed. The chair's holes were not properly aligned, so it took forever to put together, and once it was together, it seemed a lot smaller than what was advertised on the site. I didn't really like the chair, but kept using it since I didn't want to go through the hassle of buying another chair. Today's sponsor, FlexiSpot, reached out to me and said they had a great office chair that they knew I should try. They sent me their C7 Max chair, and unlike the last chair I had bought online, this was an incredibly easy to set up chair, and once it was together, it was the most comfortable office chair I'd ever sat in. The feature I like most about this chair is the adjustable lumbar support. I've never had a chair with lumbar support, and it really makes a difference. Some people use pillows in the back of their chair, but with the C7 Max, that's not a worry. The chair also leans back a whopping 135 degrees, includes a footrest, which I've never seen on an office chair before, and the armrest pads rotate 360 degrees to make them fit every position you could want. The adjustable headrest is a nice touch as well. The seat also has a 0.2-inch latex seat cushion, so it's really comfortable for long time sitting, especially when I need to do some editing or researching for my next video. FlexiSpot has their Black Friday sale coming up, where you have a chance to win free orders on their website. If you would like to buy one of their C7 Max chairs, use my coupon code 24BFC7 to save an extra $50. Thanks again to FlexiSpot for being a fantastic sponsor of the channel. When the Dr. Oz Show started in 2009, they initially had good content covering various health concerns and some memeable moments, like Dr. Oz talking about his two favorite things, poop and pee.
Today, we are talking about one of my all-time favorite things, your poop and your pee.
The show averaged about 170 episodes a year, and when you're pumping out that much content, it became clear Dr. Oz needed to make videos about a wide range of topics, and the show started to evolve into a wellness channel instead of a medical advice channel. Dr. Oz began making videos about whatever was currently in the news, even if it made no sense. At one point, Dr. Oz devoted an entire episode to a report about there being toxic levels of arsenic in apple juice. Eventually, this was proven not to be true, but the Oz episode covering it got tons of attention, which led to many people avoiding apple juice, and the FDA had to issue a report stating that it simply wasn't true. Dr. Oz would frequently put the spotlight on alternative healing methods that had no scientific evidence to back up their claims, such as the time he promoted the energy healing cult known as Reiki.
If you've got a medical problem you can't solve, you may find the answer in the next few minutes. Start, and this is the area of energy medicine. Reiki, and you're a Reiki master. My wife Lisa is a Reiki master. So when the kids get sick, when I'm out of sorts, she actually comes by. I can't even tell when she's treating me. Sometimes she secretly treats me. She thinks I'm in a bad mood, and I see hands moving around, but I actually feel the heat.
Reiki is a pseudoscience form of energy healing that some practitioners have claimed can help cure cancer, diabetic neuropathy, anxiety, and even depression. There isn't any evidence to back up these claims, and even other religious groups, like the Catholic Church, have publicly come out saying it's all superstition and should be avoided. There doesn't seem to be any real evidence this energy healing works at all, yet Dr. Oz had no issue displaying it to his audience of millions and claiming his wife does it as well.
Reiki is a balancing practice, and so rather than addressing the headache or whatever else is the problem, what it does is it influences the person's overall system toward balance. And then as her system becomes more balanced, symptoms tend to fall away. Then over time, for example, if you get headaches, you may find that you get them less frequently.
Do you feel anything, Dalita?
Oh, yes, my headache's going away.
Your headache's going away?
Yes.
And do you feel any heat?
Yes.
With the growing obesity epidemic in America, Dr. Oz would frequently do shows talking about new weight loss products he believed could help his viewers lose weight. He would frequently use over-the-top language to describe these products, and many times claimed them to be miracles in a bottle, or that this new product was the lightning in a bottle product that could be the one thing that changed your life.
Now, here's 3 statements you made on your show. You may think magic is make-believe, but this little bean has scientists saying they found the magic weight loss cure for every body type. It's green coffee extract. Quote, I've got the #1 miracle in a bottle to burn your fat. It's raspberry ketone. Quote, Garcinia cambogia, it may be the simple solution you've been looking for to bust your body fat for good. I don't get why you need to say this stuff because you know it's not true.
I actually do personally believe in the items that I talk about in the show. I passionately study them. I recognize that oftentimes they don't have the scientific muster to present as fact, but nevertheless, I would give my audience the advice I give my family all the time, and I've given my family these products.
Dr. Oz's promotion of these pseudoscience products would have a profound effect on its sales. Many companies who sold raspberry ketones or fiber supplements would see huge jumps in sales after Dr. Oz would mention them on his show. This happened so frequently that a name was created to describe when it happened. They called it the Dr. Oz effect. This happened for years with many different products, but probably the most successful of these sham products was green coffee bean extract, which was a supplement made from unroasted coffee beans that contained chlorogenic acid. This antioxidant is often promoted as a weight loss supplement. However, there is no clinical evidence to back up those claims.
Green coffee bean extract is a polyphenol. You don't have to remember what that is, but it's a chemical. It comes from the fruit of the coffee plant, and the reason it's different from regular old coffee beans, it hasn't been roasted. So it's green coffee bean extract. Because it hasn't gone through any of those chemical processes, it holds on to this element that seems to help people lose weight.
It was after this episode, and many others like them, that Congress decided to call Dr. Oz to testify before the Consumer Protection Board for his promotion of these products. My favorite of the hearing was when they asked Dr. Oz if he believed there was a magic weight loss cure, to which he said no, despite the fact he had said something contradicting that in an episode previously.
Do you believe that there's a miracle pill out there?
There's not a pill that's going to help you long-term lose weight and live the best life without diet and exercise.
Do you believe there's a magic weight loss cure out there?
The word, if you're selling something because it's magical, no.
This little bean has scientists saying they found the magic weight loss cure for every body type.
Now that hearing had no actual power to shut down Dr. Oz or fine him. It was really just a circus show designed to humiliate Oz for what he was doing and display to the American people that Congress was looking out for you. Ultimately, it was up to FDA if they wanted to take action against Dr. Oz for what he said, and the FDA never went after him personally. The FDA did, however, go after people and companies that made false claims on the Dr. Oz show. Lindsay Duncan, who appeared on the green coffee bean extract episode and claimed people could lose 16% of their body fat in just 12 weeks taking the supplement, was sued along with his company that was selling the products. They eventually had to pay out $9 million to consumers for their false advertising. Another company, which capitalized on the green coffee bean episode, started marketing their pure green coffee to consumers and used the claims from the show that you could lose weight drinking it, as well as made up fake testimonials for their product and made fake news websites to make it appear that this was a legitimate weight loss product. After the FDA sued them, they eventually had to pay out over $30 million to consumers for their lies. Now, while doing research for this video, I actually discovered yet another controversy that Dr. Oz was a part of. 8 years ago, a YouTube doctor, Dr. Berg, made the allegations that Dr. Oz stole his research and script for one of his episodes. Dr. Berg claims to be a leading expert on different body types and what foods to eat for those body types. He's written several books on the topic and was contacted by the Dr. Oz show staff to appear on the show to talk about this topic. He sent them over a script of what he wanted to talk about and was scheduled to appear on the show, only for the Dr. Oz show to cancel on him at the last second. According to Dr. Berg, the show then got some other doctor who wasn't an expert on this topic to come on the show and read his script he had written for the show.
I got an email. It says, sorry, Dr. Berg, we're going in a different direction. Sorry, we're not going to do the show. So I'm like, oh, that was a waste of 30 hours.
And cortisol causes weight to accumulate in the midsection and especially around our organs.
So you could see that this doctor is using my script. In fact, nowhere on this doctor's website will you see anything about body types. He's not an expert. I don't know where they got this guy, but basically he's talking about my body types.
Now, I'm not actually a big fan of Dr. Berg, and I may do a video on him at a later time, but despite my issues with Dr. Berg, having your entire script just stolen by a large TV show to use as their own and give no credit to you is really a scumbag thing to do. That, along with all the scammy products Dr. Oz promoted on that show for over a decade, make Dr. Oz one of the biggest TV show clowns that has ever existed, in my opinion. Fortunately, the Dr. Oz show was canceled in 2022, so that means all these shady companies now have to try and find a new avenue to push their scams on people outside of daytime television. But as I've done hundreds of videos covering scams on this channel, they clearly always find a way to continue the scam. Thanks again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. Use my coupon code 24BFC7 for $50 off their C7 Max chairs, and be sure and check out their Black Friday sale on their website, where all their items have massive discounts.